nobody can say how that property ended up with IF Antigua Incorporated, owned by Gaston and John Brown III. How did he come by that property? And so West Indies Oil Company, its management and board of directors have some questions to answer.
And board of directors to include Gaston's wife and stepmother of Gaston and John.
Correct. And so we want to know if this transaction was approved by the board of directors. We want to know also if it was advertised by West Indies Oil Company for sale to the public, so all of us had that information. Because remember, I don't know if you recall, a few years ago, there was some insider trading, and the Prime Minister admitted that he provided information to his son about property for sale up at Long Bay.
I didn't hear when he admitted that part. So, but I know of the situation at Long Bay.
He said that he told his son about that the land was for sale.
Okay.
I don't know.
He was over in
I don't know if all of Antigua knew that the land was for sale, but he said he told his son that the land was for sale, and his son purchased the land, and shortly after flipped it at significant profit. Now that was a private deal, so I mean they do whatever it is that they want to do. But I'm asking.
But not necessarily so. I think I want to disagree with you there, and I'll tell you why. Because an investor approached cabinet, letting cabinet know of his intention to do some a hotel or whatever the development up there. So cabinet would have known that an investor wanted to go here to do an investment, a project, and that land, that 1 acre land in between, it would be very, very, very important to the project.
Right.
And further, at the UPP was negotiating with the owners for that particular piece
to make it into a park.
To make it into a park.
Right. So that is why I mentioned insider trading, because there was some inside information provided that facilitated this college student at the time to purchase that 1 acre plot of land, and shortly after flipped it at significant profit. So I'm asking if this is a similar situation. The difference, though, that was a private deal with somebody, with a private person. This one now is public. This is our property you're talking about. And so we want to know if we advertised that property for sale to all and sundry, and it was a situation where he made a bid and came through with it. But look, it's not looking good, because we're talking about a board of directors that of which the Prime Minister's wife is a part, 1. 2, the Prime Minister's son. 3, the offices and ministries housed there are under the portfolio of the Prime Minister's wife. So everything there strikes family. And when you look up the meaning of the word nepotism, you see what I'm talking about here. So this strikes like it is nepotism. So the board of directors of the West Indies Oil Company would have some questions to ask. I would love to know who were the members of that board at the time of the sale. The Prime Minister's wife, did she recuse herself from the process? And what can the West Indies Oil Company board, its management and the board, tell the people of Antigua and Barbuda with regards to this sale? Because it seems as if this just happened in the dead of night, and this young man became the owner of this property. And I heard the Prime Minister talking about, he only charges us $1, with all the other things that the family seemingly benefited on the backs of the people of Antigua and Barbuda. That is not going to slide. We want to know how he came by the property, and how and what role West Indies Oil Company, its management and board of directors play in ensuring that Gaston and John Brown III and IF Antigua Limited acquired the property.
Well, I would be curious to add as well, what role and why did Public Works get involved? This is not if you I'm renting a property here. I'm renting your space to do things, and inside I will do the little changing up that I need to be done inside. But this is talking about the entire building.
Yes.
I didn't know that to be the case. I thought that's the landlord. That's his responsibility.
Yeah.
Well, the lease says the lessor agrees to allow the lessee to make alterations, additions, or improvements to the leased premises.
Additions.
Yes.
It means increasing the size.
Additions.
Yeah.
So we don't know what's going on there.
And you remember last week we were looking at that Serpi, where you mentioned
Barnacle Point
and the setting up of that, how they managed to fix that up and carry the
by doing that, you increase the value